Welcome back, everyone, and Elisa, if you'll lead us in the pledge.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would ask that we remain standing, take a moment of silence. Al Hauser, who had worked for the district for security, his wife Joni, who was a secretary in the high school, and his daughter Jamie, who is still an employee at school number 3. Al passed away over the weekend. I want to ask for a moment of silence. Thank you.
The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Fort Lee Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published on January 13, 2022 and January 14, 2022, and posted on the district website at www.flboe.com, published in the board's designated online newspapers, the Record and the Star Ledger, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Fort Lee, and mailed to all persons, if any, who have requested said notice. Please be advised that this meeting is being taped and may be broadcasted on local TV and the district's website at a future date. The Open Public Meeting Act allows for remote participation at board meetings and defines the word meeting as any gathering, whether corporal or by means of communication equipment, which is attended by or open to all of the members of a public body, held with the intent on the part of the members of the body present to discuss or act as a unit upon the specific public business of that body. May we please have roll call?
Ms. Joe. Here. Ms. Curran. Here. Dr. Golfenopoulos. Here. Ms. Norrell.
Here.
Ms. Richter. Here. Ms. Rommel.
Here.
Mr. Rubino.
Here.
Ms. Stassen. Here. Ms. Colback.
Here.
We have quorum.
The board convened in executive session at 6:30 p.m. today to discuss legal, personnel, and other confidential matters. Mr. Kravitz, will you start by sharing your superintendent's report?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Colback.
Not this one. Mine was mine, I shut mine off.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I would like to mention this Friday afternoon, the Fort Lee Public School District was awarded a $500,000 COPS grant. We recommended a grant writer on the agenda in July, and with the assistance of my office, Buildings and Grounds, Business Office, Technology, Assistant Superintendent's offices, we were able to secure this funding to enhance and in some cases create new layers of security for our schools. We are the only school in Bergen County to receive this grant and one of only 8 in the entire state to receive this grant. So we look forward to that exciting news. There's a press release out there from Bill Pascrell's office as well. As we look to our next meeting, November 7th, I encourage all school community members to attend as we present our district assessment data, as well as action plans moving forward. I would like to thank the teachers and administrators who have begun the task of utilizing our data, using Lincoln and Genesis to begin to exactly identify the areas in need of improvement, which we will speak about at the next meeting, as I just mentioned. The more information for every student, the more successful a plan and the implementation of that plan that will take place. We do have 2 student representatives this evening who can speak about some happenings at our high school, and I look forward as we move the district forward in academic success.
So we have 2 seniors present tonight to give us the student reports. We have Elizabeth Silver, daughter of former board member Esther Hahn Silver, and we have Ruben Mansilla. So I will turn the floor over to you.
So today it was the start
Could you maybe use the mic? Is it on?
Yes.
Okay, so it was the start of strong testing, which began today and will run through Wednesday. It goes from the subjects of ELA to math, which is tomorrow, and science Wednesday. And senior tennis player Stephanie Yakov won her third Bergen County championship, and once again won North Jersey Athlete of the Week, and will be participating in her singles tournament for a state championship. The girls cross country team won the Big North Championship for the second year in a row. Also, the varsity debate team got second place with Michelle Choi, which is our vice president for city council, and she also won first place as a speaker.
And the marching band won the Bergen County Invitational and will be competing again this past Sunday. And last week, the boys soccer team won 3-0 in the Bergen Cup, and Dari Lukashenko finished top 50 in the North American Cup in men's saber fencing.
The football team's doing well as well, right?
5-1.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Do we have any, oh, sorry.
We have one other announcement. So we have our anti-bullying self-assessment determined by the anti-bullying rights. The scores out of a possible 78, the high school had a 73. Now this is self-reporting scores. 73 for the high school, 70 for the Lewis F. Cole Middle School. Each reading school falls under that. School 1 is 76, School 2 is a 59, School 3 is a 70, and School 4 is a 74. You may notice some of the lower scores. That's determined by the number of assemblies they may have, or faculty meetings discussing bullying and what that entails. We await for the results from the state. That is from July 1st of 2021 until June 30th of 2022, and we will get those scores in January.
Do we have any committee reports?
Hi, the curriculum committee met, and we just discussed the general curriculum in our district, thank you, and we also discussed the future of the health curriculum. That's it for now.
Any other committee reports?
Yes. So the negotiation committee had negotiation with Glenn. It's moving along nicely, and hopefully will be finalized soon.
Anyone else? We have one walk-in resolution tonight. I apologize, it's a little long. It reads as follows. It will be Resolution 7B, and it states, whereas the Fort Lee Board of Education, defined as board, is a local board of education duly organized and existing under the laws of the state of New Jersey, and whereas employee ID 6073 is employed by the board as a teaching staff member, and whereas the superintendent has presented evidence in support of his determination that employee has displayed a deviation from normal physical and mental health, and whereas the superintendent has recommended to the board, based upon said evidence, that employees submit to a medical/mental examination as to determine employees' fitness for duty, and whereas the board has heard and reviewed said evidence and found it to be credible and sufficient to support a reasonable belief that employee's ability to perform his duties as a teaching staff member is impaired by a possible medical condition, and whereas NJSA 18A:16-2 allows the Board of Education to require its employees to submit to a medical examination, and NJAC 6A:32-6.3B permits a Board of Education to require an employee to undergo an examination, quote, whenever, comma, in the judgment of the District Board of Education, an employee shows evidence of deviation from normal physical or mental health. Now therefore be it resolved that the board, in its judgment, has determined that employee shows evidence of deviation from normal physical and mental health, and the evidence provided by the superintendent supports his recommendation that the employee submit to a medical/mental examination, and be it further resolved that the superintendent, on behalf of the board, shall provide the employee with notice of the board's action and a written statement of reasons. Do board members have questions or comments on tonight's agenda or any other topic? May I have a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Rubino, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? We will hear first from any members of the public that are physically located at the cafetorium tonight. Then we will take questions and comments from those participating remotely. For remote participants, please select the raised hand button in the upper left corner. Our board secretary, Hakisha Taylor, will recognize each community member in the order of the raised hands by lowering the hand and unmuting the microphone if you are muted. Please then state your name and home address for the record and begin your comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any members of the public here in the cafetorium tonight who wish to make a public comment? If so, I would appreciate if you would approach the podium.
Good evening, my name is Amy Kotang. I live on 435 Westview Place.
Turn the microphone on.
Hi, good evening. My name is Amy Kotang. I live on 435 Westview Place.
Hi, my name is Sarah Crichton. I live at 2454 2nd Street.
Hi, I'm Pearlie Can. I'm in 332 Lincoln Avenue.
We're very excited to join you again tonight. I want to first start with my condolences to Ms. Antifanero family. I am so sorry about your loss. Your mother was our high school secretary when I was in the high school. So you have served generation of my family, so thank you so much, and I'm so sorry. I want to begin tonight thanking each one and every one of you for your service to the community. We are here tonight, or I'm here tonight to give an update on Fort Lee Let's Include. So since we met last time, our group of 2 has grown to a group of 20. Fort Lee is a pretty special place to be, and Mr. Kravitz, you know that, just like School 3, we're pretty special, and there are a lot of reasons why, and diversity is one of them. 73% of our community are students from minority background, 73%. If you read some other statistics, I've seen 70, but 70 to 73 is a safe area. So Fort Lee Let's Include, we are a group of community action group, and our goal is to work in partnership with our community, with you, with our school district, with Board of Ed, to bring greater diversity and representation to leadership positions across our school districts. It's a special place to be, so let our diversity shine. So why does diversity matter? It matters because teachers, staff, principal, educators, administrative leadership should all reflect the student body in the school that they serve. Research has shown that diverse school leadership create higher expectations and better student outcome across grade level in elementary, middle, and high school. But don't take our word for it. So we looked at research. Johns Hopkins University did a research in 2018, and that research has shown how much representation matter. The research team was able to show that African American student, if they only have one African American teacher in their life, that they are 13% more likely to enter college. If they have 2, that number goes up to 32%. That matters. The more diversity we bring to our students, the higher achievement our student will attain. And that matters for our Board of Ed too. A study from Florida State University showed that more diversity on the school board actually lead to disparity between suspension rate across student of different color. My 3 minutes is up. Can I use your 1.5? Thank you. So why is this our initial focus to increase representation? Because leadership matters. The Board of Ed is in charge with governing the Fort Lee School District. And our current board is made up of 90% white or Caucasian members. They oversee a district of 73% minority kids. We know that you care about diversity. We know you do, because you have told us, and we take your word dearly, and that equity and inclusion matters. So let's work together in partnership and let our community benefit from our partnership and let that reflected in the work that we do.
Amy, if I can get my 3 minutes to figure out who has the timer.
The timer's still going, keep going. We'll
Okay, well, hurry.
run more 3 minutes after this.
Thank you so much. So a quick shout out to the high school students. Great job, as always. That's incredible. And to Mr. Kravitz for wearing a hanbok day at the festival this weekend. That was very impressive. So thank you very much to Amy. We're very grateful to the Board of Education. And we started a website that includes some of the facts that Amy shared. It's fortleeletsInclude.com. For anyone watching, I know there's lots of people from School 3, so a shout out to all of them tonight. And Amy was reading from a Q&A that we put together, which is some questions that we're hearing as well. And I just wanted to highlight 2 more, if that's okay. So one of the questions we've had is this group trying to push out current members of the Board of Education? We really wanted to address that outright, that that's not the goal of this group. I know one member in particular was very angry about this, and we really wanted to address that again, that we come from a place of respect. So what we are asking is that the Board of Education members, I know many of you are very committed to this, really be champions of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So particularly what we're asking of you all is if a sitting Board of Education member runs for re-election, run in partnership with candidates of color, share your networks and your resources. Some of you are running on a slate right now with 3 people, 2 existing and 1 incoming candidate. There's real opportunities there, and we're grateful for your consideration. If a Board of Education member does not plan to run for re-election, again, share those resources and networks with more candidates of color. And we're putting together a list of candidates as well to consider in those upcoming elections. So we're grateful for you to do that. Other questions we've gotten is, does this work really pushing for greater diversity on our Board of Education and across the school district divide our community? There's a retired police officer in Fort Lee on Facebook who's a school resource officer that passed at School 3, who serves a community of 77% kids of color at our school, who on Facebook is saying this is wrong. We shouldn't be advocating for this. Really to him, I want to say, and to others who may be thinking that, this is an effort to bring our community together, to bring more voices to the table. My family talks about an ethic of sharing our table, share what we have, and you are all volunteers volunteering your time, and you have power over 4,000 kids in their education. So we're asking to share that power and share your table, not to push you out, and bring our community together. And then finally, I think I have 30 seconds more on my time. That's cool, I'll make it quick. I'm a white woman talking about this. That's a question I get a lot. Why are you up here? Because I think this only brings our community together, richer and stronger by doing this work. Imagine if you're having a party and you invite everyone who has the same background, same experience, looks the same as you. It's pretty boring, right? And so we're really advocating for this board and all of our leadership across the district to really reflect the diversity of our district itself. So as Amy said, over 70% kids of color. So thank you again for your consideration. And those who are feeling angry about this, really, I want to challenge you to consider.
I want to say, you're speaking about me, I wasn't angry, I was insulted. There's a difference. I wasn't angry, you guys.
No, and I didn't want to call anyone out individually by name at
No,
all.
I didn't.
no, but thank you for saying you're insulted, and we're always happy to meet. But thank you again, we appreciate the time.
Technisha?
I want to acknowledge your feeling, and
No,
and
they're in
my-
the third.
right, and our cause is dear to us, and we stand by it. As Sarah had mentioned before, it's about collaboration, share your resource. You have a dance party, don't just invite us to the dance, but not invite us to dance. I like to dance. Yeah, we're not known for dancing, but I like to dance. For our two students, thank you for coming. I want to acknowledge you as well. If you can share our website with your colleague, with your peers. Those at home, Fort Lee, let's include, even if you are camera shy, sign up so we can review. If you want to be invisible, you can be invisible, but we love to include you. Let's include.
Thank you all. Pearlie, I think you're going to have some additional time. I haven't
Sorry,
heard from you
I just,
before, so.
thank you for listening to Amy and Sarah, and, you know, we really appreciate your support. On another note, I just have a question about, you know, how are we taking accountable for, this is about right at school, obviously I've spoken up before, you know, since our last meeting, an email went out on, September 23rd, I believe, and it was mentioned that, you know, there's gonna be hosting, you know, some info sessions in October. We have 2 more weeks till the end of October. We haven't seen anything. The communication has been lacking. When, you know, there were like half days at school in the past, we would always get notifications saying that there's still aftercare. So parents have been asking, is there aftercare for Yom Kippur, you know? So I think communication is still lacking.
Thank you for that. We haven't heard anything at this level, but we'll contact them tomorrow morning. I know there was some emails sent out after the last meeting, and they followed up with some of the requests, and they're constant communication. If you have a concern with them, I would email them, but copy me, and I will definitely contact them tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
If I'm coming out, I might as well, do my homework. This is straightforward. I'm Esther Hahn Silver, 5th Street, Fort Lee. Coatesville is being represented tonight. All right, so just 2 questions from the agenda. First is 2CUR, the professional development, contract for Linkit. I know you just mentioned it, just because the attachment had no details at all. Agenda says like, see attached for details, but there's no details. It just says 28 days, $42,000, and that's it. So I was kind of curious, like, what is Linkit? What are they going to be doing for that $42,000? And then for 4F, the refund, I guess, that we have to give back to the state, it looks like. I just wanted to know what that was about as well. And that's it. Just as an aside, thank you to Amy, Sarah, and her group. I think from my viewpoint, I think it's more about, broadening the scope of the experiences and backgrounds of the people that are sitting here on the dais. Because I think everyone brings their own perspective, and that helps shape the discussion and decisions that are made. And I think they're about kind of just expanding the viewpoints that are represented. So that I just kind of give a little shout out to them. I don't think it's that they're trying to hurt anyone in particular. I think it's just more about expansion of thoughts and ideas and viewpoints. Thank you.
Hi, Esther. Hi, Keisha Taylor, Business Administrator. The refund is for non-public returns. So each year, we're kind of advanced money for Chapter 192, 193, non-public textbooks, non-public tech initiative, non-public security. And so we're advanced those monies based on how many students we had last year and based on how many additional students go into those non-public facilities. Actually, it's just one non-public school. And so at the end of the year, we kind of true up. So I think this year they gave us, I don't know, say they gave us $200,000 and we actually spent, 150, I would be honest. And so the amount that we refund is refunded in our second payment, I think in November, of state aid. So it's annual, and we've refunded money annually because we've advanced money.
Hi, Esther.
I always have microphone problems. So Linkit is our new data management system. So it's a system that we're using to organize and store all of our data, attendance, NJSLA data, STAR data, County San Panel data, so that it makes it easier for administration and teachers to talk about students in a more comprehensive way. The reason why you see 28 days, we have 7 school buildings, and we're trying to do this training in different formats, small group, large group. And if we pull an entire grade out in a day, that's 20, we may need 20 subs. So we're doing it in smaller groups, which requires more days. We may not use all 28, but just to be prepared, that's what we have. So each school building is essentially, set to get 4 days this year.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Do we have any raised hands?
We have no raised hands.
We have a motion to close the floor to the public.
Motion.
Motion Rubino, second Morel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposition? Let's move on to resolutions. May I have a motion to approve items 1B through 7B?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Rubino, roll call please.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Cho. Yes, but I abstain from 1B. So noted. Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Curran.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve items 1 CUR through 3 CUR?
Motion.
Motion Ramba, second Richter, roll call please.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Cho.
Yes.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Curran.
Yes.
Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve items 1F through 4F?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Rubino, roll call please.
Ms. Cho.
Yes.
Ms. Richter. Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Ms. Curran.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve items 1P through 12P?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Morel, second Richter, roll call please.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba.
Yes.
Ms. Cho.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Motion
May I
carries.
have a motion to approve item 1POL?
Motion. Second.
Motion Morel, second Ramba, roll call please.
Ms. Stasu.
Yes.
Ms. Cho.
Yes.
Ms. Richter.
Yes.
Dr. Wolfenopoulos.
Yes.
Ms. Curry.
Yes.
Mr. Rubino.
Yes.
Ms. Morel.
Yes.
Ms. Ramba. Ms. Colback.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is there any old business? I just want to give a shout out to our Fort Lee Education Association, FLEA, our teachers union, who had a pumpkin picking this Saturday at the rec center, which was well attended, and lots of kids, and they were all having fun. I think Rachel Ventrella was the organizer, and I know during the short period of time I was there, C.N. Spawn, the president, was there. I saw Ms. LaRusso from School 4. Nina Anderson was in charge of the volunteers, so kudos to them for what they did for the students. Anyone else?
I have something to say. I just want to say how proud I am to work with this group of women and men and running for the board. I'm glad that you guys came in with a slightly different approach this time. I think that I ran for the board because I didn't like what I saw and I didn't like what was going on to my family. And I decided to run for the board. I didn't, go around telling people what it was. I just said, you know what, if I want to see change, I'm gonna run. I ran. It was one of the best things I ever did. I'm extremely happy. It's a lot of work. But, I think I did ask Amy to run with me or to run a few years ago, and her answer was, I don't have time. But, yeah, but anyway, I just want to say how proud I am of all my fellow board members, because I think that each one of us brings something to the table. And I think we all give a sense of our own, you know, I don't want to say background, but our own ideas. And I'm just super proud to be a part of this team. And I'm also super proud of you guys for stepping up and going after what you want. If I didn't ask you, I thought I did, Amy. I apologize if I didn't. I thought we had a conversation a few years ago.
I didn't know you're allowed to make a statement on my behalf without consulting with you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You never did. I want to set the record straight.
We had a conversation, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. The point is, I applaud you guys for, you know, stepping up and going after what you want. I think it can be done in a way that's not, you know, hurtful to a board member or angry, as you said. And I wish you the best of luck.
Anyone else? Do we have any new business? They have a motion to adjourn. Motion Rubino, second Morel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposition? Thank you all for coming out.
Hello?